Okay, so I'm going to put this video together again, just in case you want to go through the process of seeing how this works. So our concept is we've got a sheet, and it's got a bunch of schedules on it, but we're duplicating the sheets for phase 2, and now we need to duplicate all the schedules for phase 2, and ideally also replace them on the sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up a Dynamo graph over here. One thing that is important to note is what I tried yesterday when we were on the call is using a node that's called current selection from the package Springs. And what I tried to do yesterday was select the schedules in the project browser and then hit run, and we weren't getting them to list. So it does turn out that what I was trying to do yesterday was working. I need to check and see if maybe I have the wrong version of Springs in your office, which is possible. But it does turn out then that if I wanted to collect the schedules like this and then feed them into basically what's called view duplicate. So you can tell it to duplicate a view where you feed the views in and then you give them a name, and then you have to use what's called duplicate options. And that's where it's asking you, are you duplicating with detailing and so on. And so if you were to go searching for duplicate options, you would find those. Now for a schedule, we can really only duplicate. I think you can probably do as a dependent, but we wouldn't want to, right? So you would do this. And then what I was doing, or what I was planning to do yesterday, is what we really want to do is just get the name of these schedules, and I'm going to freeze our duplicate node here. So here, if we tell the schedules that we want to get their name, you'll get this here. And then what you can do is you can say, take the name and then add in phase 2. And you'll see that when you do that, it makes the variable name, and so we could just do that. And basically, now you'll see we have a list of names that we could use. We could feed those in as well. And so if we were to do this, where now it's connected, if I unfreeze this, it will actually duplicate the schedules. But since that worked when I tried it today, I thought we would do something a little different. So we're actually going to just leave that turned off for right now. And what we're going to do instead is you can select the sheet itself using a node called sheets. And so it doesn't go by sheet number because Autodesk is silly. So let's just say item type schedules, core and shell. There's 2 of them because there's one in interiors. But if we were to run that, basically you would see well, if we were to go sheet number, then you would see, hopefully I've got the architectural sheet here. There it is, A0.42. Now, one of the things that you can do with a sheet is you can say sheet.schedules. Now, what's funny about this is just like there's views and then there's viewports, when you get a schedule that's on a sheet, what you actually get is called schedule on sheet. It's basically a viewport. It's not actually the schedule itself. So then what you can do is you can use that to get the actual view of the schedule itself. And so if you run that, you'll see now that you have the schedule on sheet, and then you have the actual view of the schedule itself. But the reason we need both is because what's really cool is we can also get the schedule on sheet location. So that means like, where is it physically on the sheet? So if we were to run that, you'll see here, now we have a whole bunch of coordinates just in paper space. Okay. Now we can basically do this whole same thing that we did up here. We can do that, but basically do it with this schedule view right here and using this schedule view's name, right? So basically we're doing the same thing where we're saying get the name of the schedule, duplicate it, add phase 2, and life is good. Now, the other thing that you can do is, if we just slide all this down here, we can also say that we want to create a schedule on sheet, which basically means I want to put new schedules on a sheet. So we want to make a schedule on sheet or a schedule viewport, and it's going to ask us in order to do that to give it a sheet, the new views that it wants us to put on, and the location where we want them to go. So here's what's really cool about this. Well, we already know the location of all 14 of them because we have them right here. Doink! Now, if we come over here, we drag this thing. By the way, there's a new fancy way to do it in Dynamo. Is it like this? There we go. Okay, so that's pin wire. I always forget how to use it. Just to drag these things. Can we do another one? Oh, we can. I can't stand when these things are all messy. So that's the new way in Dynamo that you do it. Now we have our new views right here, right? And we also have our sheet, which is all the way at the beginning here. So if we were to drag this over here and then do another one of these little pins, just to make that a little cleaner, there we go. So if we were to read through this, it would say, take this sheet, get the schedule viewports, get the schedules themselves and their locations, get their name, add phase 2, duplicate the schedules. Now we're going to drop them on the sheet in the same spot as the old schedules. Now we then have to delete these that are on the sheet. The trouble is you have to be careful because if the deletion happens too soon, it won't be able to get these locations. So there's probably a better way to do this. I use this thing called pass through, which basically says we're going to wait until this is done. And what we're going to do when we wait is I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to drag it into there, and we'll talk about that in a second. And I'm going to drag my little pins. I'm obsessed with getting these little wires in the correct spot, just so it looks a little cleaner. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to wait until I did that wrong. Ah, darn it all. Okay. I definitely did that wrong. Sorry, let's fix this. Drag the pins around. So, all right, I'll explain this again in 1 second. What we're going to do is we are going to take the original schedule on sheet, but we are going to wait for the new schedules to already be on the sheet. So what's getting passed through is the old ones. And the reason for that is we're going to just delete them. That's just delete, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so it's important to note we're not deleting the schedule, we're deleting the schedule viewport, which means it will remove it off the sheet. And so if we do that, now if we were to unfreeze all these things, and we were to watch this happen, so here we have A0.42 and we have the new schedules. If we give that a run, so if we go back down to that sheet now, you'll notice that on A042, they are now all the phase 2 schedules and all the phase 1 schedules have been removed. So that's the gist of how this works. The one thing that we would want to do now is basically annotate our graph, which is something that we just do to make it easier for users to understand. So this is an input, and basically this is select the sheet that's in question. We want to get the schedule viewports and the schedules and their locations. So we'll say get schedule data. And then over here, we're going to, we'll do this together here. We'll say create names of new schedules. And then we will, so this one is A2 Revit because we're actually making a change here. This is going to be, again, my wires are going to bother me, so we'll just do some little trickery here. This is going to be dupe schedules. And similarly, this is going to be also going to Revit, put them on sheets, and then here I'm just going to mark this as a wait. Waiting, and then delete the old viewports. Something else that we do when we make Dynamo graphs for other people to use is we use this cool tool from John Pearson to annotate the nodes that came from a custom package. So that's because this duplicate options is from a package called Archilab. Duplicating the views is also from Archilab, and this may be why they didn't work on your machine. I may need to update the packages that are on the server. So we're going to do a save as. I already made this graph a few minutes ago before the video didn't work correctly, but Now I've made it nicer, so we'll just do it like that. And there you go. I will send this over and we can run it on Monday to see how it works.